good morning, and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 413, and if you're joining me live, please say hello. Let me know if you're crafting this morning. Let me know where you're from, or just say hello. We'd love to hear from you. Hi, Melissa and Pat. Thanks for joining live. Love to hear from anybody else who's here with us this morning. Hi, Christine and Lisa and Shelly. Glad you could be here. Happy Monday. It's episode 413 of the Create, Share, Inspire podcast. Just rolling away into the 400s now. Hi, Nikki and Grace. Thanks for joining me. Glad you could be here. Jane is in Indianapolis. PJ Knits, good morning. Hi, Lisa. Glad you're back. Hope you're feeling better. Hi, Jane. Good morning. And Judy. And Marcia and Sulaf and Cranjeet and Lee and Jackie. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Shelly and Cindy and Constance, Terry, Olivia, Carol. How was my trip? Very hot and very long. When we go to these tennis tournaments, it's all outdoors. There's nowhere to go sit inside, really, and so I'm outside in the sun from 7 a.m. till 4 or 5 p.m. every day, and there's no way to know in advance if you're spending the night or going home, so you always have to check out of the hotel every morning before going and sitting on site all day in the heat, and then you either have to scramble and go find a hotel then at the end of the day or drive home. So it's long, brutal days for someone like me who's not used to it. I mean, it's hard for the kids too, but they're at least conditioned for the weather, but they have to work hard, so it's hard for them. But I am totally exhausted, probably heat exhausted and dehydrated, but I'll be okay. Boys did well. Marlon played 4 matches and obviously lost the last one, which is why we came home yesterday. Otherwise, we were going to be there today still. There were 2 more matches if he kept winning, and we're going to have to do the podcast from a tennis court this morning. But turns out we came home late last night, and I think I was too tired to sleep, so now I'm even more tired. But I'm sure I'll be fine by tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to drink a lot of water today, and no, Christine, I found out at the very last minute that I had to leave Friday night instead of Saturday morning because the draw came out so late and Marlon played so early that I had 10 minutes to pack and not knowing how long I was going to stay, I didn't grab a hat or sunscreen when I left. So I barely packed enough clothes because I didn't have the notice to get organized, so did the best I could. Hi, Naomi. I'm just tired now, just worn out and tired, but that's okay. Life goes on. It was fun. It was great to see Marlon get to play. He played so well. Yeah, Marlon did really well, so that's good. And I made great progress on the project that I was working on, which I can't show you yet, but I will tell you I made great progress on it, so that's good. I worked until it just got too hot, and then I couldn't. Hi, Cherie and Novella. It's very difficult to work on a blanket in intense heat, so I could only do that for so long, and then just go sit in the shade as much as possible. Hi, Harini. Oh, I think I said hi already. And the Angel something. Good morning. Hi, Lilly. Thanks for joining live. I did say. Yeah, Terry, I don't leave often enough to really need a go bag, but anyway, I did what I did. Someone mentioned my dress this morning. This one's from my Amazon shop too. I don't know if I wore this one last week or not, but it's that same seamed dress like the leopard print one, but it's in a really fun navy print with lots of bright flowers. Has bright pink, bright turquoise, and some hot pink. I love this print. This is one of my favorite prints that the dress comes in. And so easy to put on. Hi, Grace. Jane likes this flower print too. Yeah, it has lots of bright colors in the print. Navy background and bright colors in the print, I think, is a great combination. Can you see my orchid back here? I think all the buds have bloomed now. Can you see that? All the buds have bloomed. Yeah, it does look gorgeous. Really pretty back there. So I noticed that so many people really enjoyed the show and tell on Friday, where we went through these bins and we were going through these unorganized bins and reorganizing in these bins, that I thought, I got a lot of work left to do on this, so we may as well do it together if everybody enjoyed it so much. Oh, someone's here for the first time. I'm so glad. And hi, Olivia. Oh, so first I'll show you how they arrive. They come in a 2-pack, and it's in my Amazon shop if you want to find them. So they come in a box like this, and when you open the box, they come wrapped up like this, and they're sold in packs of 2. And I've bought 2, 4, and 6 so far. And I think somebody mentioned the other day that they didn't think that they would stack well when they're once they're filled. And I guess my answer to that would be, I guess it depends on what you fill them with. We're filling mine with yarn and handmade yarn projects, so none of this is heavy stuff. And these are fabric totes. It's not like they're made out of metal or hard plastic, so I think that I would consider what you're putting in them before I would be concerned about something like that. They're fabric totes, they're not heavy duty, so I probably wouldn't put heavy duty stuff in there like tools or bricks or whatever. I would put things that are light like this, and that light and bulky, that take up a lot of space but aren't necessarily heavy. I think the framework on these are excellent for stacking in that case. So next I wanted to show you how easy they are to put together. So it came 2 in a pack. So here they are flat, so really cool for storing too. And you literally just lift it up, and then it opens up. And then we're gonna pull, the metal framework is already attached inside, so you just have to slide them to the corners. So you pick it up and just slide these frames into the corners. Takes a couple of seconds to do it. They're already in place, you just have to slide them down. Super easy. So there, that one is done. We've got three metal frames in there. One goes left, one goes right, and one goes down the center. And so now we've got the bin. It has carry handles on the sides. It has a little pouch here where you can make a note and put inside here everything that you put inside, which I think is really important, especially when we're going to put a whole bunch of different things in there, whether you're going to organize your yarn or your not sample garments here, handmade items, or if you're going to put winter clothes or summer clothes. They are strong. I can't read your name, the Angel something, I think. I think they are really strong. The metal framework in there is very sturdy. So I'm going to set this one over here. But I wanted to mention that that little pouch over here, if you're putting something like something general in these, let's say that you're changing your, closet from winter to summer clothes, you could actually put a very simple note on there. But if you're going to itemize stuff like what I'm doing in here, I'm going to write on a full sheet of paper and itemize everything in there, and then I'll just fold it up and pop it in that little pocket. If you didn't want to do that, you could pin, it's their fabric, right? You could pin your note right on there too. Are you putting the book on the sides in the card holder? Am I putting the book? I'm gonna itemize what's in here and put it in there. Sorry if I missed the point of what you're saying. If you want to ask me again, because I'm not sure I understand. But I'm going to itemize everything that's in here. Like for this example, this one is a book everything in here is from Motif Magic, so in this little pocket I can just write, oh, that's probably what you meant. On this one I'll just say Motif Magic because I know everything that's in there. On this one, this is sample garments from my website, and that's going to take more than one bin, so I will itemize everything on these. But anything that's for just a collection of a book, and if that ends up being big enough that it can hold 2 books, I'll mark both on there. Someone, I think they organized their crafts in here too. I think that's what I read. Not sure. I think I came in a little too late on the comment. So let's just keep going and open up one of my, so I've got 6 more of these to go through and 6 more of the bins, plus I have 2 more projects of books in my office, so I may end up needing more than 6 bins, but I thought 6 bins was a good place to start. Here is the Razor Shells shawl. This is a super popular one on my website. This is knit in 1 ball of Be So Fine yarn, and this is colorway $1 Million Red. It is worked from the bottom up, starts with the ruffle, and then you work in that beautiful stitch pattern. It looks like a seashell, I think. That's why I called it the Razor Shell. I thought the texture of the lace pattern reminded me of the seashell. In fact, I designed it specifically with the seashell in mind first. Yes, another thing, keeping everything clean and bug-free, absolutely. That is a great plus. Being able to see in here, so at a glance know what's inside would be amazing. Oh, somebody asked me the other day about a purple shawl that went in here. Okay. If whoever asked me about this the other day is watching, I think you were asking about this shawl, the first pinky purple one that I put in. That one, this is the Bonita Beach shawl. This is also a 1 ball shawl in Be So Fine yarn. This one's knit, and that's a top-down construction. This one uses that elongated twisted drop stitch that we did a demo on the beach last week or 2 weeks ago. Remember that demo I did of the drop stitches? This one actually uses it in that wavy stitch pattern. Isn't that beautiful? You can find that pattern on my website. There's a video for it here on my YouTube channel as well. And you can find that video on the pattern page on my website too. All right. Ooh, this is a cutie. The Delta flower hat. Remember this one from, I think, last winter? This one's in Be So Bold yarn. I think this one's big enough that I'm going to lay it flat on our pile here. I don't think it's skinny enough to actually put in the lingerie bag. The other day I was talking about that skinny scarves and really small things, I'm going to lay flat in a laundry bag and then fold this up and put it in last in the bin. Because I think the little things are really what gets you unorganized when you're trying to organize things. The little things, if they're mixed and matched, like even notice how I'm putting the really thin yarns on this side and the heavier ones on this side. It's because I want things to be equal while they're being folded and stacked. I think that when you can stack even weighted and even textured things, I think it helps them to stack smoothly. Let's see. Good morning, Audrey. Hi, Deborah. Oh, here we have another hat. This one's in Be So Tender yarn. It's called the Raina hat. Put that in there. Our Dazzling Tassels shawl. For those of you who are in the Create, Share, Inspire group on Facebook, you'll see that one of our moderators, Judy, she made this and wore it to a wedding yesterday. And instead of doing the tassels on the ends, she did fringe with Be So Fine instead. Isn't that beautiful though? The sequins just look so gorgeous in this piece. Bring that closer. It's called the Dazzling Tassels shawl. I made this one to wear to a wedding last year as well. And the person that got married last year is the person whose baby shower I'm going to this summer, which is why I'm working on a baby blanket now. Fun, fun. I think I'm going to be able to do 4 piles in these too, which is going to be nice. Okay, here's another book project. but this is not this book project. This one has Motif Magic projects in it, and I'm not sure how full each bin is going to get from a book. So until I know, I'm going to open a separate bin for another book. So this is 80 Handmade Gifts. Has a beautiful drop stitch, and this one holds several yarns together. We've got Be So Dazzling, Be So Tender, and Be So Sporty Bling. Can you see all that texture in the drop stitch? Isn't that beautiful? So fun to make. All right, so we'll start another bin for another book. This is a baby cocoon in Be So Serene yarn. That can go up here. And then I'm finding things that I don't think I've published yet. So this is a felted bag in Be So Brave. I'm going to put anything I haven't published yet on the side, because those will probably have to go in their own bin too. Ooh, this is a pretty cabled hat in Be So Brave yarn. Isn't that pretty? It's a pretty cable. Does anyone know the price of the bins? They came in a 2-pack for $29.99, so about $15 each. I'm just loving the visual of getting to see everything organized in there. So I'm organizing by thickness of the project. So chunkier items are being folded in one pile, and finer items are being folded into another pile. And then my super fine things like skinny scarves are going into a laundry bag first, and then once I have them in there, let's see, I'll try to do this on camera, not working. I'm gonna fold them up like this. So I took the laundry bag, laid everything flat inside, and then I'll end up folding it like this and storing that at the end in there. I think that's gonna keep the skinny scarves nice and organized and not get them hidden. Like if I put a skinny scarf folded up in this pile with the chunkier pieces, it would disappear in the pile and you wouldn't see it. I want to be able to see everything as it's lining up, and the only way to do that is to keep like thickness, not like-minded, is to keep things that are similar in the same piles. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, well, we got another book project. This is the Jordana Mobius from Motif Magic. So pretty. We did a motif. So it's the square motif for the solid pinks motifs, and then the same motif in 2 colors here in that contrast column. And then I deconstructed the motifs to do the exact same stitch pattern as an edging and done it in 2 pieces. How many patterns do I put in a book? It depends on the length of the patterns. So I try to keep books around the same size, because the number of pages is really what determines price. So to stay with just over 100 pages, it'll depend on the size of the pattern, so it can be anywhere from 17 to 20 patterns. And then also, like 80 Handmade Gifts has 80 projects in it. Depends on how lengthy the patterns are to how much you can fit into a book. But good question. Okay, so this is a thicker piece. So in the Motif Magic bin, I'll put it on the thicker side. There's my thinner side there, and thicker side here. Another Raina hat. Did a Raina hat in Be So Tender yarn in black also. Okay, unpublished, so put that on the side. Unpublished, so put that on the side. Here we go. Here's another pattern to put away. This is also a knit little shawlette pattern. It's called Midnight Tryst. This one's really fun. It's knit from the side. So you start with a skinny end here, and as you go, you increase and do an edging and do a bobble on an edging. So the rows get wider and wider until you get to the middle, and then you decrease your way back down to the other side. And it's done in a garter stitch base, so it's knit every row. Super fun. This one's done in Be So Fine yarn in color $1 Million Red. So this is in Be So Fine yarn, so this will be one of our lighter pieces. This is a project from my website, so it goes in the website pattern bin. which is up here, and goes on the skinny pile. Okay, I think, you know what, oh, here's another one. Then I think this bin's got a lot of unpublished stuff that I still have to go through and deal with, so I'm not gonna pull everything out. Let's see. Oh, we've got a few more things to pull out. Oh, this is cute. This is the Fresh Market bag in Be So Fresh linen yarn. Did that one last summer. So cute. I really want to pull my bags out and use them. All right, well, once I know where they all are, maybe I will. So I'm going to put that one up here in the website patterns. Got a few more for the website. Here is, oh, I've been looking for this. See, this is what's great. I've been missing so many of these patterns and not knowing where they are because they've been in the wrong kind of organization. This is the Chantilly lace dress done in Be So Fine yarn. So beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? That's done in Be So Fine yarn. It's a T-length dress. It's below the knee, but not quite to the ankle. So beautiful. You can find that free pattern on my website as well. So beautiful. Love it. I love knit and crochet dresses. All right, let's get to another bin though. This one has stuff. Oh, there's another bag in here. This is a great beach bag. If anybody needs a beach bag for this summer, you can find this one on my website also and on YouTube. This one's done in Be So Sporty yarn. Really long handle, so you can put it over your body too. It'll fit a couple of beach towels, a book. You could fit a bunch of stuff in there. It's a really, really great size. Has a flat bottom too, and that super long and wide handle. Wide handles are really great on big bags because they don't dig into your shoulders. So the bigger the bag you're making and the more stuff you're going to put into it, you want to consider the size of your handle. I would make a real wide handle if you're making a heavy bag. Let's see, I see some book projects in here. Oh good, yeah, we can get through some more Motif Magic stuff in this bin. Here's another beautiful shawl from Motif Magic. This one is knit motifs that you join as you go. Doesn't that look like crochet motifs? But I'm going to show you real close. You're going to recognize that that is a knit stitch, isn't it? Isn't that great? So they're knit and joined as you go. And if you're a crocheter and a knitter, you'll really understand the technique because it plays a lot on the technique of crochet as you go motifs as well. This is done in Be So Tender yarn, which is my number 4 worsted weight organic cotton. So pretty. Okay, we are definitely getting close to reaching the top of this bin, so I'm going to have to either think about making another pile in the front here and or going to another bin. We'd really like to get 2 piles in there though. I put it in the wrong bin too. This one goes in Motif Magic. There we go. All right, almost got confused. Here's another pretty one from Motif Magic. This one's Crochet Motifs, and you can see by changing the color combination in some of the motifs, we created another design element within a shawl that only uses one motif. And then I did a twisted fringe on the bottom that does not involve cutting the yarn. That's done in one continuous piece of yarn. Isn't that amazing? No cutting of the yarn for twisted fringe. You can find this video here on my YouTube channel. I have a separate video for the twisted fringe as well as for the shawl, and this pattern is available in Motif Magic. I think some of you have made this shawl, and I think some of you have made that fringe on other projects too. Once you know how to make a fringe like that, all right, that's not going to sit up there. You got to fold it a little wider. Then maybe it'll sit up there. You know, it's so bulky, I think I'm going to put this one on the bottom. See, I think it's perfectly fine to, once you're organizing, pick where something should go. That's one of the biggest pieces that's going in here, so I think it's perfectly fine to move it to the bottom. See how nice and tight and organized these are staying? It's because of making those kinds of choices that is really going to make the difference in how organized these stay. Here's another pretty one from Motif Magic. This one's done in 3 colors of Be So Fine yarn. I have not been paying attention to comments either, so does anybody have any questions for me? I'm not teaching how to dye yarn at the moment, but I do have some projects coming up where I will be teaching how to dye yarn. Just not at the moment, it's coming soon. Here's another great project from Motif Magic. Yeah, you know what, Knit Purl, and I couldn't read the rest of your name. You know what, you just have to get started. Every little bit counts. If you have a lot to do to get organized, just set aside a couple minutes a day. Look what I'm doing. I haven't touched this since Friday, since we last did this. And look at how much more progress I've made just by putting in a couple more minutes. Jill's here, good morning. So don't shame yourself for having a lot to do. If you can just set aside a few minutes a day. What is Be So Brave yarn made out of? It's 100% American merino wool. Dana loves to organize stuff. Good for you. Yeah, I think sometimes we all go through that ebb and flow of we can be organized at times and then we fall out of organization and then we go back to getting organized. I know that's part of my process when I write books, is that during the book process and especially towards the end, things get really frantic and things get thrown around. And so now that I just finished my last 2 books, do I have them with me? Yeah, I do. So now that, oh, are they not in here? Huh, they're not in here. Well, this is 80 Handmade Gifts and Motif Magic. Layers Knit and Layers Crochet are here, probably inside. But now that I just finished those 2 books, now I can reorganize my space again. I don't have 37 projects all sitting out. As I'm finishing up the videos, they're going to get put into a bin dedicated to those books as well. Jill, they come in other colors too, so if there's other colors that appeal to your aesthetic or maybe your home decor, that's fine too. Just keep in mind that there are other options. Is that going to fit in there? No. So, time to regroup again. Because the thin ones, the fine yarns are so delicate, I'm going to put a chunky one on the bottom in there too. Because this book's probably almost full. We've got to be getting close now. All right, this bin has quite a few other things that haven't been published yet. So we're going to wait on those. Put those off to the side. Oh, we got another pretty hat. This is a pretty basket weave hat in Be So Tender yarn. So pretty. Put that one up here. I was hoping to find more book projects. Where are they? All right, when I open that one, that's going to give us more patterns from my website, which means we're definitely going to need a second. Thanks, Marnie. Yeah, Novella, the Be So Fine bling and Be So Sporty bling are both available in white with the silver thread. That is correct. Comes in a bunch of bright colors too, but they both also come in white. Here is a beautiful shawl, crochet top down in Be So Fine yarn. This is colorway Parisian Bordeaux, and the shawl is called Molten Lava. Love this stitch pattern. This is available as a written pattern. It also has charts, and it has video tutorial here on YouTube as well. Joe's patiently waiting for the next sample sale. Yeah, I guess this kind of speaks of that, doesn't it? Depending on how much space I have for these bins, that's usually what is the motivation behind a sample sale, is when I run out of space. So you are absolutely correct in saying that, but you don't know what you have until you get organized first. So this really was important to do as well. Oh, here's another one that's unpublished that definitely needs to get published. Beautiful, beautiful shawl, but I won't show it yet because it's not published. Unpublished. Ooh, this is a pretty one from, this is one of the first shawls I ever designed in Be So Fine yarn. I think this is called Lover's Key. I missed that. Do I have a pattern? Anything I've shown this morning, there's patterns on my website or in books, and I've tried to describe where they are. But yes, all of these are published patterns. Anything that's not published, I've been putting off to the side to not confuse anybody. I don't like to show, I try not to show things before they're published to not confuse anybody. This is a pretty shawl too. This is a rectangular shawl that if you clip it in a couple places, it makes a really great asymmetrical poncho too. Put it over your shoulders. Isn't that great? It's just a rectangle. But look at how it looks like a top because of the way I pinned it in the two spots. I love this piece. This is from my website. This is done in 2 colors of Be So Sporty yarn. Really simple stitch pattern. There's a video for it on my YouTube channel, and there is a pattern for it on my website. I think it's called Simply Stripes. But if you go to that pattern directory page and look up knitting patterns or shawl patterns or Be So Sporty patterns, it might be easy to find that way too, but it's called Simply Stripes. This one, I never got, this is so strange. I never took proper photos of this one, but which really is not cool because it doesn't, the pictures I have of it don't do it any justice. This is done in 4 colors of Be So Sporty yarn. The pattern comes with charts and written instructions. It has a video tutorial also. It's 2, how do I say this? It is 2 top-down triangles. This triangle's worked that way. This triangle's worked that way. But as you make the second triangle, you also join it to the first triangle like you would do join as you go motifs. Isn't that cool? And it gives you that center detail. So pretty. You could do this in 1 color of yarn too. You wouldn't have to do it in multiple colors, but you could do it in 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. You could do it with leftovers and do it in 100 colors. But really, really pretty. This is called Love Is in the Air. Like I said, you can find the pattern as well as the video on my website and YouTube channel. And it's Be So Sporty yarn. Thank you, Knit Purl and Squirrel. Hi, Edna. Hi, Charlene. Okay, where are we going with this one? This one can go up there still. Getting close to finishing the back side of that one. Oh, we've got another 80 Handmade Gifts project. This is one of the really easy crochet shawls from 80 Handmade Gifts. What yarn is this? Is Be So Fine yarn. I love this storage too, Charlene. It's so great. It's going to be so pretty to see it all organized too. I love to be able to see stuff. I would much rather see things with these windows than not be able to see in the bin. So between being able to see in there and putting a proper categorization or itemization paper over here in this pocket, I think I'm going to be super, super organized. So when someone has a request here in the morning, which I get often, can you show us blank project? It'll be so much easier for me to say, yeah, let me go get it, because I'll know where to find it. I talked about it on Friday, and I talked about it earlier in the podcast. These are in my Amazon shop. And if you go to amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl, you can find the bins, and I'll post a link in the video description when the video's over today too. Here's Lilac Berry Shawl. This one's crocheted top down in one of the prettiest pineapple stitch patterns I've ever seen. It's a very delicate and small pineapple. It actually reminds me of strawberries. Doesn't that look more like strawberries than a pineapple to you? So because I thought it looked like berries, that's why I called it the Lilac Berry. So beautiful. It's a top down. It comes in written pattern along with charts, and there is a video for it here on my YouTube channel as well. And as large as this is, can you believe that's still just a 1-ball project in Be So Fine yarn, which is my #1 fingering weight bamboo. Okay, I think we're going to have to start piling them in the front now. So once I start piling in the front, we are going to have to be really careful about organizing, itemizing in the sheet, because you won't see everything anymore. Oh, this one is so pretty. This is a knit top-down lace shawl, one ball project in Be So Fine yarn. This is called Misty Memories. Come closer so you can see the floral detail at the top edge. Isn't that beautiful? It's a half circle. I think it's so, so pretty. It's a one ball project in Be So Fine yarn. You can find the pattern on my website and the video for this on my YouTube channel. So, so pretty. And only a one ball project. Ooh, we've got another piece from Motif Magic. We can keep filling that bin. Is that pretty? This is an 8-sided octagon motif. It looks like starfish to me. This one's done in Be So Lush yarn, which is my #1 fingering weight organic cotton and bamboo blended yarn. This yarn, I will be dyeing more of this very soon. Ooh, this is a really popular pattern. This is called the Sanabella shawl. It is a top-down lace shawl, and I did it in 4 colors of Be So Sporty yarn. I will have more of Be So Serene yarn in stock soon, and I think this would be a great candidate for picking out a bunch of colors of Be So Serene yarn and doing it that way as well. So it's done in, this one's done in 4 colors, and you repeat those 4 stripes twice, but you could do this in 8 colors instead, or do it in 1 colors, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't really matter. Be beautiful either way. And then I put beads on the bottom edge in a few spots. Can you see those? That's called the Sanabella shawl. You can find this on my website with written instructions, possibly a chart, I don't recall off the top of my head. And it also has a video tutorial here on my YouTube channel. That's called Sanabella. Can you believe all the details I'm remembering? I'm just like pulling them out and boom, boom, boom. I know where that's at, know what it comes with, know what it's made from. Be So Serene yarn is a #2 sport weight, which is the same weight as Be So Sporty yarn. So you could substitute those pretty easily. Jane's made 3 Sanabella shawls. That is awesome. Here's another beauty. This is the knit sampler shawl. So this one's also done in only 1 ball of Be So Fine yarn. And this one's a top-down knit half circle where you uses a few different, can you bring the sunshine yellow yarn color back? It is in stock, Sherry. It's in stock on my website in Be So Fine yarn. It's called Sun-Kissed Yellow. This one is top down in 4 different stitch patterns. So you get to sample a few stitch patterns, which is why I called it the sampler shawl. So pretty. This would be a great candidate for putting beads on the end too, I think. And it is a fairly simple project to do. There's no shaping within the stitch patterns. The shaping is done before each stitch pattern begins, which makes it a relatively easy kind of a project for memorizing a stitch pattern. Okay. Hi guys, you sleeping down there? Both my helpers are sleeping. They missed me while I was gone, as you can imagine. I missed them too. I'm so glad to be back home with them. Had a friend of mine come and check on them while I was gone. Here's another beauty. This is the, I think it's called the Tender Chloe knit vest, or it could be Tender Claire, can't remember. It's one or the other. And this one's done in Be So Tender yarn. It's worked from one side to the other, and you make 2 large buttonhole openings, which is what gives you the vest. Ah, Christine has fur babies sitting next to her too. Isn't that nice? So nice. All right, that one's thicker, so I am going to put it on the bottom. I don't like piling heavier things on top of lighter things. I really think that's how things get lost. There we go. And I may come back, once each bin is full, I may come back and then that bin, now that it's organized with the right things that need to stay together, then I may reorganize those too. So we'll come back to this, and we're not going to do it every day, but maybe once a week we'll spend some time on this, because I think there's a lot that I can show you and teach you as I'm doing more of this. Wow, we went over today. Well, I'm sorry about that. That's what happens when I get busy. I start getting focused on the job at hand. All right, can somebody pick a number between 1 and 5? And we will pull a quote out of one of the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks. Pick a number between 1 and 5. First one I see is the book that I will go to. 4. Carol says 4. Yeah. This is the one where I ate Cuban food out of a to-go container on the beach one night and said, dang, why don't I do this more often? And this was at Bonita Beach a couple years ago. So oh, and I just happened to open it on a page, so I'm not even going to flip around. As I was just opening it to show you the photo, I opened it on this page. It's from Henry David Thoreau. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing? Especially for especially if we have problems looking at ourselves in the mirror. Can you imagine getting to see how other people that care about you see you? That would be really cool. I think it would be a really good boost for all of us if we could see how someone looks at us that doesn't see the imperfections first. I think that would be really interesting. Wouldn't that? Or see how a child looks at you if you care for them and you're sweet to them, or somebody that loves you. I think that would just be amazing. I think we might be surprised at how amazing and beautiful we are when we look, if we got to see what we look like through the eyes of someone that loves us. I think we would be much more appreciative of what we see in the mirror every day. So yeah, that is a really wonderful thought. So I'm going to read it one more time from Henry David Thoreau. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Ooh, how about if you could see what you look like through your pet's eyes? Can you imagine? You'd probably look like you were glowing with all of the beauty in the world. That's great. I like that quote. Well, thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. Sorry I went long, but I appreciate your patience in staying. And if you had to go, I understand. You can always come back and watch the recorded version later. Hope you enjoyed the demo, putting these together, the tutorial of showing you how I'm planning on organizing these things as I go and making some changes on the fly, because isn't that what we all do? We're always constantly modifying things, right? I hope you enjoyed chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at the beach.